Middleweight bout, Michel Pereira coming in at we don't know because this line got or this fight got changed from Michel Pereira to Marc-Andre Barrios, but he's taking on Andre Petroski now. Petroski coming in on a winning streak. Pereira still on a winning streak, but he hasn't been in action because he had just a whole bunch of stuff, and most recently the weight miss against Wonder Boy. So now he's moving up to 185, and I think that was a good move because he has had weight issues before. But either way, we don't know the line here. What do you think the line's going to be at this point? I'm probably thinking Pereira like minus 175, minus 200.
I was gonna say like minus 140, minus 150, just because of the grappling edge for Petroski here, and the fact that Michel is moving up to 185 for the first time.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like he'd kill himself to get down to 170, and he's always in phenomenal shape. But that was even then, like 170 was really tough for him to make. So I think there's a chance that Michel comes to 185 and he's just kind of, middle of the pack as far as size goes. But then again, you're not having that rough weight cut down to 170 anymore. I mean, 15 pounds between those two divisions is a ton. 170 to 180. It seems like that should benefit Pereira a little bit here as far as his endurance, his output, maybe even chin. Dropping all that weight was never good for anybody's chin. So I do think Michel has a good chance to get it done here. Petroski, I never have really liked what I've seen yet from him, just because when he is really wrestling heavy and he can't find an early submission. He has a couple submissions in the third round early in his career, but it's against kind of lower level guys. But lately, it's like he looks a little tired and a little bit labored. I thought Gerald Meerschaert had a good chance to win that decision because of how he came on later in the fight. After Petroski, grappled and wrestled the first half of the fight, he looked really, really tired and labored. If that happens against a guy like Michel Pereira, Pereira is going to put the work on you on the feet with the body shots and really ramp up that volume and pressure and make it extremely hard for you to keep your gas tank in check. So, for my pick, I'm going to take Michel. I could even see him getting some kind of finish here. The dude's insane on the feet with the striking. I have a feeling that 185 is going to be a better home for him as far as the weight cut. I think he's going to have more energy than he even does now. Maybe the gas tank is even better. Going up against Andre, who is taking this fight shorter notice. And like I said, I've just never been too impressed. He hits hard on the feet, but for how long? He kind of gets labored with the striking as the fight goes on. And I think that's going to be his downfall here against Michel.
Yeah, that was not the best performance against GM3 for Petroski. It really looked like he just didn't respect him whatsoever on the feet and thought he would be able to take his head off, and then quickly found out that he's not like some great striker. And that was the biggest takeaway from that. Even on the ground, like it wasn't like he had some dominant ground game against GM3 either. He was just able to hit him on the feet. GM3 not hard to hit on the feet, but Petroski was whiffing a lot. So it was a weird fight to watch. And he was, a minus 220 favorite or someone in that range. So I don't really love that fight to look at because you're going up against Michel Pereira, who is a much better striker. And I don't know if Petroski's going to be able to, ragdoll him to the ground and use that wrestling and the submission game. Because Pereira's pretty athletic. And
athletic, yeah.
At 185, he's going to be quicker than a lot of these guys, especially a guy like Petroski, who's a wrestler and he's want to shoot into double legs. He's going to be able to sprawl faster. So I think Pereira gets this one done. Petroski is able to get gassed out. Pereira has been able to get gassed out at 170. I'm hoping that'll help when he gets up to 185 as far as the cardio goes, not having to cut those pounds. So I'm going to go with Pereira. And I think he could find a finish too, as long as, the only thing that scares me too is how crazy Pereira fights. It's like he could find some like weird way to get DQ'd or something like he's had a DQ loss before. And he's had fights where he's landed on dudes' faces when they're on the ground with his feet. So I'm like, God dang, dude. Like, if I lose to that, that'd be crazy. But yeah, I'll be taking on Pereira.